So first, let's talk about Palestine Action. Two of their supporters, not members because they don't actually have a membership, broke into Brize Norton RAF base and sprayed paint into the engine of a military plane. Incidentally, the plane isn't owned by the RAF but belongs to a hedge fund called Polygon Global Partners LLP and is ultimately owned by Air Tanker Limited, whose address is listed as Brize Norton Airfield. Should they have done it? Obviously not. It's a crime and they should be prosecuted. Are they terrorists? No, not if groups like the far-right Patriotic Alternative and Britain First, who have literally attacked the police and been involved in life-threatening riots, aren't. The government's prescription of a group trying to stop a genocide while still supplying weapons, logistical support and training here in the UK to the country carrying it out is just total hypocrisy. I think lining civilians up for target practice at aid centres is more like terrorism than spray painting a plane. And the suspects will probably get off because there's a precedent from other cases of damage caused as military equipment, where the defence was that the crime committed prevented a larger crime from taking place, one of which was defended by Keir Starmer as a defence barrister. Reformers Richard Tice retweeted a photo of the RAF staff member in charge of HR at the base, saying she was responsible for the break-in, which tells you just how much they respect the armed forces. Former Reform Party, now independent MP Rupert Lowe, showed their colours again when he said the protesters should be shot. He recently had his own pet Labrador shot, so maybe he was suffering from PTSD, although they probably don't believe that's even a thing. And frog-faced fascist fucker Farage? Well, he was too busy promoting his new idea of a Britannia card, where non-doms pay a fee of £250,000 and the money is given to the less well-off, what he calls a Robin Hood tax. It all sounds great until you realise that it actually saves the ultra-wealthy an absolute fortune in tax and will cost the country an estimated 43 billion over 5 years. You know what's even better than a so-called Robin Hood tax? A fair tax system where the wealthy pay their share. Yet again he's shown he's standing up for not so much a man of the people, more a man of the wealthy people. This has been proved yet again by his recent announcement that a Reform Party limited government will give city bosses cabinet positions. Like they're going to do what's best for working people. He's also jumped on the Lucy Letby bandwagon. Does anyone think he'd be this outspoken if a Muslim nurse was accused of these crimes? No, he'd be tarring all Muslims as murderers and calling for them to be thrown out of the country. I haven't heard him mention the murder of Daniel and John, a 14-year-old black kid killed by a white murderer Marcus Monzo. No calls for buildings to be burned down in this case. But wait, that heavyweight political thinker, singer, and unsurprisingly millionaire, seeing the pattern here, who lives abroad, Rod Stewart, has said we should give Farage a chance. Rod's performing at Glastonbury this weekend. Let's hope he gets the welcome from the crowd that his misjudged comments deserve. And speaking of Glastonbury, it seems the government, the Tories, and probably Reform are upset at the BBC and the festival organisers because the group Kneecap and singer Bob Vylan both called out the genocide in Gaza during their performances. Apparently, free speech now means you can support the murder of babies publicly, but you can't call it out or upset Israel. I'm off to listen to I Was Only Joking by Rod Stewart. Hope he was. If you enjoyed this video, a like or share would be appreciated. Want to see more? Why not subscribe? Comments welcome.